Welcome back to Automotive, where we take a deep dive into the machines that made the roads roar. Today, we're shining the spotlight on a car that turned heads and left tire marks on the legacy of American muscle, the 2002 Pontiac Trans Am W6S. It's loud, it's aggressive, and it's got a backstory as powerful as its engine. Whether you're a die-hard muscle car fan or just someone who loves the sound of raw V8 performance, stick around. You're going to want to hear everything about this beast. The 2002 model year marked the final run for the Pontiac Firebird and its high-performance sibling, the Trans Am. After decades of defining American muscle, this was the swan song. And Pontiac didn't just let it fade away, they sent it off with a thunderous roar, especially with the WS6 performance package. This wasn't just a cosmetic upgrade. The WS6 turned the Trans Am into a serious performer, with real muscle under the hood and some of the most aggressive styling Pontiac had ever put on the road. So what made the 2002 Trans Am WS6 so special? Let's start with that powerhouse under the hood. The WS6 came equipped with the legendary LS1 V8 engine, a 5.7-liter aluminum block producing a factory-rated 325 horsepower and 350 pound-feet of torque. But here's the thing, those numbers were conservative. Real-world dyno tests often showed the WS6 making closer to 350 horsepower at the crank, and that's without any modifications. Mated to either a smooth 4-speed automatic or a robust 6-speed manual, this car could launch from 0 to 60 in around 5 seconds flat, and blast through the quarter-mile in the low 13s. That was Corvette-level performance in a car with rear seats and T-tops. And speaking of T-tops, let's talk about the look of this car. The WS6 wasn't subtle. It featured an aggressive ram air hood with twin nostrils that actually functioned, feeding cooler, denser air directly into the LS1 for better performance. Flared fenders, a sculpted front fascia, and a bold rear spoiler gave the WS6 a stance that screamed speed even when it was parked. The twin round fog lights were iconic. The WS6 also rode on 17-inch polished aluminum wheels wrapped in fat 275 series tires, giving it grip to match the power. Now let's get behind the wheel. The moment you slide into the driver's seat of a 2002 WS6, you're greeted by a cockpit that feels like it was built for speed. The deep-set gauges, red lighting, and wraparound dashboard all point to Pontiac's performance DNA. Sure, the interior materials were more GM plastic than luxury, but everything was driver-focused. Bucket seats hugged your body in all the right ways, especially when throwing the car into corners. And the sound, that low, guttural V8 rumble, was music to any car lover's ears. The exhaust note wasn't just a sound. It was a statement, but this car wasn't just about going fast in a straight line. Thanks to the WS6 suspension package, it handled far better than people give it credit for. Upgraded springs, shocks, and thicker sway bars kept the body flatter in corners, while the limited slip differential put the power down where it needed to be. It wasn't a scalpel like a European sports car, but it was brutally effective. Think of it more like a sledgehammer on wheels, a weapon in the right hands. And we can't talk about the WS6 without mentioning the culture around it. This car was a staple at drag strips and street meets across America. It was affordable power. For a fraction of the price of a Corvette or Viper, you could get a car that could go toe-to-toe with almost anything on the road. And the aftermarket support, massive. Cold air intakes, headers, cam swaps, AQ tunes, you name it. There are thousands of WS6 builds out there pushing over 500 horsepower to the wheels without even opening the bottom end. The LS1 was just that good. Now, here's where it gets a little emotional. 2002 was the last year for the Trans Am. After that, GM pulled the plug on Pontiac's F-body cars. No more Firebird, no more WS6. The factory closed, and the era came to an end. But in many ways, the 2002 WS6 is more than just the end of a model, it's the end of an attitude. A time when American automakers built unapologetically loud, fast, V8-powered muscle machines. It represents the final chapter of old-school muscle before the rise of modern tech-heavy performance. Today, the 2002 Trans Am WS6 has become a modern classic. Prices are rising, especially for low-mileage, manual transmission cars. Collectors are starting to realize what they have. This wasn't just another muscle car, it was one of the last true expressions of raw, analog performance. No traction control, no electronic nannies, just your right foot and a whole lot of horsepower. But owning a WS6 isn't just about numbers. It's about the experience. It's about that moment when you roll down the windows, turn off the radio, and let the engine do the talking. It's about pulling into a gas station and getting nods from strangers who know exactly what you're driving. It's about flying under the radar until you're not, because when that ram air hood pulls up in someone's rearview mirror, they move over. That's respect earned on the road. So if you ever get the chance to drive one, do it. If you're lucky enough to own one, hold on to it. Because the 2002 Pontiac Trans Am W6S isn't just a car. It's a statement, a reminder of a time when performance came with attitude, and style wasn't optional, it was mandatory. Here at Automotive, we salute the machines that dared to be different, and the WS6 did just that. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of Pontiac's greatest hits, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Automotive for more content on the cars that define generations. Drop a comment below, tell us your WS6 story or let us know what car you want us to feature next. Until then, keep your foot down and your eyes up. We'll see you on the road.